Immigration crackdowns are affecting the gig delivery drivers in certain markets. We'll talk about that and more on this segment of the Gig Geezer. So it is Tuesday, August 19, 2025, and I am about 30 minutes or so away from drop-off location from my second delivery opportunity of today. And quite frankly, my hope was to earn money today, but admittedly didn't know how it was going to come about. And I happened to get a text message about a cash game opportunity, and it was somewhat involved. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest type of work, but it's consistent with what I've done for the past several months. And so I took care of that, and then upon completing that opportunity, I happened to secure a second delivery opportunity, and that's the one that I'm on now. The funny thing about that second delivery opportunity is that it should have been like an 8-foot skid loaded onto the box truck. In fact, I'm in the Geezer 16 as I document this. But the guy tried to compensate for not having a long enough forklift forks for the skid, and in his attempt at trying to load it into the box truck, the pallet fell over 1,400 pounds, almost 1,500, over 1,400 pounds worth of items, toppled over onto the dock and inside, and somewhat straddling the dock and inside of the box truck. And so anyway, we got it loaded in, and that's the picture that you see there, how it's loaded in. And so what went from somewhat of a uncertain day, which is something I talked about in this segment of the Gig Geezer about never know when your money's going to call, the uncertainty of money when you are doing this as a 1099 and supposedly as somebody who is in business for yourself. I went from the uncertainty of not making money to making money. And it allows, what it allows me to do is live for another day, live for another battle. But that's part of this segment of the Gig Geezer. I had to get that out of the way to talk about the main idea. The main idea being, it appears that the gig food delivery world is being impacted by this current administration's push on immigration and these aggressive and questionable and oftentimes unlawful deportations. And the means by which they're doing it is questionable as well. I mean, you're rustling people up on job sites, at schools, at churches, at doctors' offices. Well, the gig food delivery world is another place. Now, for some of y'all, you may welcome that. You're like, fuck yeah, get rid of them son of a bitches. They've been taking money from us for quite a while. I'm just going to talk about it because, hey, last year, if memory serves me correct, if you check the Gig Geezer archive, I have a Gig Geezer segment in which I posed the question about someone who went viral on a TikTok, if memory serves correct. He's from Venezuela or Colombia. I think it's Venezuela. Memory serves me correct, it was Venezuela. He's showing how he's all dressed up with his helmet and his jacket, and he's there to pick up a gig food delivery order, and the shop personnel is yelling at him, "Learn English, motherfucker! Learn English, god damn it!" And he claims he doesn't understand what's being said, and this went viral. In fact, it made the news and all that, how the guy talked to him, but nobody posed the question: is he renting his account? Is he paying somebody on the low to have access to a gig food delivery app or apps? And a dead giveaway for him as far as fitting the profile or description of someone who may have had access to a gig food app account illegally is that he rode a moped, a motor scooter. Most of them ride motor scooters up north in Washington, D.C., New York, New Jersey. And this is not being racist. This is not being crass or arrogant or anything like that. These are facts. And it appears that this current administration has gotten wind of it, and now they're sweeping, making sweeps of people doing deliveries, and they're being rounded up, being held, and being processed for deportation. And it's likely that many of these people who've been rustled up for deportation have been renting these accounts. So that is news in itself. And the article that I'm making reference to spoke of how deliveries have been down by a significant percentage. In fact, what this article described was how someone had ordered DoorDash, and he noticed that the order was taking a while to be delivered. And then he checked the app because it tracks our movements and all. And the guy's down the street. He goes out and he sees him being rustled up by the police. Not just police, immigration. Yeah. And again, there are some of you who will check out this segment of the Gig Geezer and say, good for the motherfuckers. Good for them, goddammit. Do things right, and you wouldn't have to worry about that. My problem with that is it runs afoul with the law in that you're profiling people. If you look a certain way, and if you have certain things, they're saying they got probable cause to question whether you're a citizen or not. It is possible then, if I'm on a fucking moped and I got my helmet and I could be questioned. They're gonna want to know whether I'm here legally or not. And there have been news articles in which folk who are here, born and raised here, got fucking birth certificates, have been rustled up and everything, and have had to deal with being detained for some period of time. There are noted cases out there. So that's where the concern is. If for nothing else, it is the process by which it's being done that has caused the problems. It's one thing to do what you're doing, but it's how you do it. That's the issue. So, according to the article, the headline is, "Detentions of DC delivery drivers leave immigrant communities on edge." A series of videos showing federal agents conducting operations in Washington, D.C. has sparked immigration concerns as the administration continues its federal takeover. And so the article starts off, Tyler DeSue woke up tired and craving breakfast Saturday morning. So he did what many people in that situation would do. He used Uber Eats to put in an order for burritos. When his food driver took longer than usual, DeSue checked the app and noticed something seemed wrong. The delivery driver's GPS location had dropped short of his address. He went outside to look for him. "I stepped into the street, looked down, and see the lights in the direction looked like police lights in the direction where my driver was," DeSue said in the interview. "It was my driver by himself and like 9 different officers wearing different uniforms. Most of them had face coverings on." That's right. He had been swept up. The dude had been swept up. The driver had been swept up in a fucking steam. So, that's something to talk about. Does it matter? Is it good for us drivers? Is it good for the rest of the drivers that the administration is cracking down on drivers who are renting accounts, basically renting accounts by the illegal means, and their way of cracking down is making sure that they're U.S. citizens? Or because just saying U.S. because and even then, there have been people who have been naturalized citizens. They are now U.S. citizens, have been caught up in the process. So they're looking for people who are not born in the United States first. But anyway, so yeah, is it good? Is it good for drivers at large that the administration is cracking down on these people? Is it good that there's been a drop in the number of drivers in certain markets? I guess for some, they say it's good because that means there's more earning opportunities for themselves and others who are onboarded onto the app by legal and proper methods. I'll give you that much. But again, my argument is going to be, I question the way by which it's being done. Certainly, the app could be more vigilant. The app itself could be more vigilant and crack down and get people off the app. And then these people have to find something else to do. And maybe they will still be exposed to, you know, the immigration officials out there, the thug squad, the rogue squad that's out there that is doing things, pretty much doing things. In many instances, these people who come up there in masks in various uniforms, not showing proper identification on their part, they're doing things pretty much unchecked by the legal process. So that's where the conversation comes in on my part. But I welcome your comments in the section below. And if you don't like the content that I have provided in this segment or in any other segment, hey, you can unsubscribe or you can give it a thumbs down. But if you like the content that's been provided in this segment, give it a thumbs up. Share my content among others. And again, I welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane. As always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.